Hello, welcome. If you are just stumbling upon this live stream, I'm going to give a quick introduction. My name is Lorena. I am a self-concept coach and I support women to shift their identity or their self-concept, embody their highest potential, and align with their authentic soul desires so they can manifest anything that they truly desire. So if you're new to my channel and you end up liking this, then please leave a little like, leave a subscribe. It's also a good idea to switch your notifications on if you want to join these more often, because last time I did a live, I received the feedback that people were just not aware of, that happening. And I did share it. I shared it on Instagram. I shared it in the community tab and so on. But there's only so much I can do. But what you can do is click the little bell below under this video so that lets you switch on notifications and then you don't miss out on any future videos or live streams. So I'm excited to be here today. I hope you can hear me because my mic has been a bit funky lately. So yeah, but let's hope this works out. I'm very excited to be here today because this is actually a new series. Let's call it a series. This is going to be an ongoing thing. So I'm going to be going live frequently now. I'm very excited for it. I had the intention already at the beginning of this year to just pour more energy into YouTube because I feel like I express myself best over video. But I don't currently have the capacity to film and edit 2 videos a week. It takes ages. If anybody here ever edits videos, it takes a long time. So I thought, why not leave it at 1 scheduled video, 1 premiere per week, and add on a weekly live stream. So that is great because it means we can interact together. So please, whenever you're here live, or also, if you're watching the replay of this, leave some comments in the chat because, I want to see you. I want to feel you. I want to know who's here. I want to connect with you. I want to build more connection with, this community here. And it allows you to ask questions, whether that's things that were maybe unclear from previous videos, because as much as I want to and try to reply to all comments, I just don't always see them all. So, and also this is the closest you get to what it may like to be coached by me, is here on YouTube. So yeah, this will be happening most weeks at the same time, Mondays, 2 p.m. UK time. So if there's ever a week where I can't do it because maybe I have something else happening in my world that doesn't allow me the space or time, then I'll announce that in the community tab before. But usually this will now be weekly, Mondays, 2 p.m. UK time. I also wanted to share that with this live stream, I had my own shadow coming up. I had this fear of like, what if no one ever shows up? And what if I never get any questions? And, in the beginning, it's going to be like this because people don't know that this is happening yet. This is completely new. So, of course, in the beginning, there's going to be less people and less questions. But the reason I wanted to share this fear or the shadow coming up with you is because I have the same stuff come up as everybody else. I just know how to navigate these things and how to transmute it into my superpower rather than a barrier. And I was really able to channel this fear into my power. And this is just something that I wanted to leave with you, that I've integrated, and now I'm just excited to be here, and I don't care how many people are here, if anyone. And something that I wanted to share with you today, and obviously, if you have anything to share, anything resonates that I'm saying, you have any questions that come up throughout this, please leave them in the chat. I'm so here. This is not a one-way street. This is a two-way street. And but something that I felt like talking about today, because it's something that I've been talking about a lot in my content recently, and I will continue to hone in on it because it's so important. And that is just the fact that you don't have to freaking manage or flip your thoughts in order to manifest what you want. I see so many people constantly being in resistance to what is happening inside of them. And I see so many people focusing on technique after technique and really hammering it in. But the thing with techniques is, and I was speaking about this a little bit in my last video about affirmations. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out after this live stream as well. Techniques are supportive, they are great, but they're supportive. They will not create big shifts for you. You can do the same technique every day, and I'm sure it will make a difference in the way you feel. It will not inherently create a transition, a transformation, a shift in your self-concept or your state of being. And that is because thoughts do not create your reality, contrary to popular thought. Thoughts are not irrelevant. We do need to work on our mindset. We do need to make sure our perception is aligned with what we desire to call in. But thoughts are really, I would say, a quarter of what makes up your state. So to me, there's really four pillars of, I like to call them the four pillars of holistic manifestation, because the approach that I work with with my clients is all about a holistic method that I have created. And the four pillars of that are body, mind, heart, and spirit. And that is because if you're only in the body, right, if you're only focused on the physical, what is happening then? You are staying stuck in your current reality. That's really what, all of these manifestation teachings initially were about, to kind of bring you out of just the physical and make you realize there is more to this reality than just what you see, right? Like, it's not that your reality just happens to you. It's not random. It's all a projection from you. So if you're only in the physical, if you're only in the body, you're staying stuck in your current reality. And that's when you experience stagnation, because you're not doing anything to move forward. You're not taking any risks. You're not taking any leaps. You're not working with your imagination. Maybe you're not taking any action. You're just accepting things as they are without questioning them, without actually claiming a new version of yourself, without claiming your desired reality, and without doing the work to shift your own identity, to shift your own self-concept. So that is what happens when you're only focused on, the physical. If, on the other hand, you're very much in your mind, right, and you are working on changing your beliefs, you're working on changing your mindset, you can still be staying on a surface level, because your mind is powerful. Don't get me wrong. It's very powerful. And we need to consider the mind, and we need to work on our mindset and our perception, as I said. But without integrating anything that's in the way, without really taking apart the subconscious blockages that might be present, that are very likely present. We all have them. There is nothing wrong with you if you have them. Without embodying the changes deeply, you will hit a wall. Same without working with the nervous system. I was actually speaking about this today on my Instagram story, that a lot of people work on their mindset. But the thing is, you can have the mindset of a millionaire. You can have the mindset of being in a committed relationship. You can have the mindset of having expansive friendships. You can have the mindset for it. But if your nervous system isn't lined up with this experience that you desire, if your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive it, if your nervous system isn't expanded enough to hold it, to receive it and to hold it, it's not going to happen, because you're just conceptualizing it in that moment. And If you're only in the heart, that's the third part, you can stay stuck in emotional states. You can stay stuck in the past. The past needs to be looked at. It, we can't bypass it. We really can't. I know a lot of people love to try it, but it will catch up with you. When I work with my clients, we always spend time talking about integrating and alchemizing the past, any trauma, emotions, circumstances, etc. But it's very clear that this is never to stay stuck there. It's to work with it, not stay trapped in it. And then the fourth piece is, well, if we're only in the spiritual realm, if we're only in the imagination, if we're only connected to God, well, now we may be bypassing the physical. Now we may be denying the physical. So that's when we may live in our imagination, dreaming of a reality that never happens because we're not doing anything about it. We're not embodying it. I see a lot of people getting stuck in their imagination, thinking they're living in the end, but then 3 years go by and they're not seeing any changes in their circumstances. So that is when you're living in your imagination and you're bypassing what's actually happening around you. You're not getting anywhere because you're just dreaming about things, but you're not actually changing or transforming anything. So, if you're in only one of the four, or you're missing a part, one of the four, like you're only in three, that's probably where you're blocked. All four pillars need to work together at the same time, and you can't neglect or deny any of it. So that is super, super important. Okay, so that is all that I really had to say. I'm gonna check the chat and see, if you have any questions come in, keep them coming. Because I have some time, so I can answer some questions that are arising for you. I'm gonna see. Hi, John. Whenever I'm manifesting, I'm improving my self-concept with meditation and actions. But meanwhile, I have this sort of heaviness of heart or melancholy that won't seem to go away. How can I free it? Yeah, that is a great example, because this is exactly what I was speaking about, right? You're probably using meditation and actions. I don't know what actions you're taking, but there's probably the heart element, the emotional healing element that's missing. So what I do with my clients, what's part of my process, is shadow integration. That's a big part of my method. Because if we don't heal the heart, right, like there's probably something in your subconscious that still needs integrating, that still needs healing. So, you can make some progress, but at some point, and that's great that you're doing this, that you're feeling these improvements, but there's probably a wall that you're hitting because, the emotional integration isn't happening. It can also sometimes happen that if you do certain practices and you make certain changes, it brings up the exact things that need to be dealt with. So this can also be an opportunity to work with those shadows. So that's what I would say to that. I'm gonna have some water because I feel like my mouth is dry. I feel like I've been let me know if that resonates with you at all. And of course, if anybody else also has any questions, please let me know. I'm gonna stay on for a couple minutes and see if anything comes in. I'm excited that we're doing this now. I hope a lot of you will join me every week. Amazing. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense and that resonates. Great. Okay. Yeah. For also a little announcement, I am actually relaunching this week my free guidebook that I made a while ago, which is all about holistic manifestation. So stay tuned for that. I will share it in a couple of days. So if you haven't received that yet, I highly recommend you check it out when it goes live again, because it's really extensive. And it's a great starting point to, get kind of introduced to how I work with conscious manifestation, how the method that I use to change my state of being and ultimately yours. And it gives you a lot of practices and guidance as well that you can already start applying. So, stay tuned for that. Cool. So if there are no other questions for today, then I want to thank you all for joining me live. So as I said, this will be, there's another question. I will answer this one still. Hi, Bijou. Oh, cute. I like it. Do you have any suggestions for a simple morning routine? I tend to wake up with anxiety. Yes, sure. That's a great idea. Let's talk morning routines. I was actually speaking about morning routines with my client this morning, so that's quite fitting. So when it comes to morning routines, before I give you like suggestions for a morning routine that you could implement, I think having a routine is really important, or having like a regular spiritual practice is really important, because our egos otherwise get in the way and we fall back into our old patterns. So some sort of connection, especially if the element of that, of those 4 pillars that are mentioned that you're missing is the spiritual, having some sort of connection to the divine is really beautiful. When it comes to building a morning routine, what I sometimes see people do, however, is feeling like they have to have, I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way. I'm just, saying this as like sort of like a, like a little to preface the morning routine topic, that sometimes people build a morning routine and it's like 3 hours long and they think they have to do it in order to get what they want, in order to create changes. And then it turns into a chore, and it also becomes not beneficial. What I also sometimes see people do is build a morning routine. So let's say they have a morning routine where they say affirmations. I'm, as most of you will know, not too big on affirmations for various reasons that I have mentioned in the past. But okay, that's great. I'm glad that resonates. That message was meant for you then. And they have the morning routine of, let's say, saying affirmations, and then instead of shifting their identity, that's not what the affirmations will do. Instead, what happens is they embody the identity of being the person who says 1,000 affirmations every day. So be careful with things like that, right? Techniques, as I said, are supportive. I encourage you to use techniques. I encourage you to have a regular practice, and they're just techniques. Don't don't turn yourself into the identity of the person who does this technique every day, because that is not going to change you. But that being said, having a morning routine is great. I suggest you to pick something. It depends on how much time do you have, right? Some people have the space for 2 hours of a month. Like, I have a long morning routine because I like it. I have a 2-hour morning routine because, like, it's filled with the things I enjoy. I don't beat myself up if I don't do it. I didn't do it yesterday. If I have to cut it short, it's fine. I'm not rigid or strict with it. I am quite intuitive with it, but I have quite a long morning routine because I enjoy it. But, if you're, for example, let's say you're a mom, or you have, like, you work 60 hours a week, we all have different lives and different lifestyles, then probably you can't have a 2-hour morning routine. And that's cool. It doesn't need to be a lot, right? I teach usually my clients a lot of different practices, a lot of somatic practices. I work a lot with journaling. I'm a big fan of journaling, a lot of breath work, a lot of meditation. There's like loads of different practices because different things work for different people. So when you say, what you're struggling with is anxiety, I can obviously give you some tools and techniques, but it depends. Like, I can't tell you for sure because I don't know you and I don't know your background. I don't know where your anxiety comes from. So to really eliminate that anxiety, I would obviously need to have more details and I would need to know you. But I would really work with somatic tools first and foremost when it comes to anxiety. So that it can be breath work, that can be EFT tapping. Maybe also it would help you to actually journal, right? Like if there's anything you need to get off your chest. Anxiety can be it can be present for so many different reasons. It can be like a deep-rooted pattern that just comes out in the morning, because in the morning we're more in our subconscious. So maybe the stuff that you're usually suppressing throughout the day then comes up. We can also get morning anxiety just because our hormones are off, right? It can be cyclical as well. We can have morning anxiety because we had a bad dream and, there's some somatic residue. So it also depends on why you have anxiety, but I would say definitely do something somatic. Even if that is just, shaking your body, like really getting into your body, moving your body in the morning, putting on a song and just dancing, like that can be a great tool. And a very simple thing that I also suggest people to do is just to tune into how they're feeling, right? If you notice you wake up with anxiety every morning, just the first thing you wake up, just closing your eyes, putting a hand on your heart and being like, how is my heart feeling? And just seeing what you get back, because very often we're not even present with our emotions and we just try to push them down, right? Okay. I have a lot of time as well, but no structure. Yeah. Yeah. Are you lacking practices? Are you lacking, information? Are you lacking the awareness of what works best for you? Or, what is the thing for you? Because building a morning routine, like there's so many things that you can do and different things work for different people. But, as I said before, the morning routine is not the be all end all. It's great to have one or to have a routine. It doesn't have to be in the mornings. Mornings are great because I'm personally the kind of person, if I don't do it in the morning, I don't do it at all. But, it doesn't have to be in the morning anyway. Having a regular routine is great. A regular practice, spiritual practice is great. And it's not the be all end all. Like practices, techniques are not going to change your state or self concept, at least not permanently, right? It's going to create like small shifts and it's going to support deeper work that you may be doing, hopefully that you're doing, but it's not going to radically, change your self concept. It's just a supportive tool that it can be good for maintaining changes as well. I think I have taken a lot in over the years and now I'm just overstimulated. I don't know what to choose and then I don't do anything, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people because here's the thing, right? Like there's so much information out there. There's such an information overload. Like you get here on YouTube or you get on Instagram or there's like a million podcasts. And the problem is not that you don't have enough information. The problem is most likely that you don't know how to apply that information. Like, what I always like to say to my clients is like, I'm not here to teach you more knowledge. Like you have a lot of information. You can read everything in a freaking book for free. Buy a book, listen to one of the millions of podcasts. You can get all the information for free. I'm not here to give you information. I'm here to help you integrate, apply, and embody that information and actually change your life. So yeah, I totally get that, you have taken a lot in over the years. So maybe the thing for you is learning how to apply, integrate, embody all of that information. And if you feel overwhelmed with all of it, bring it back to basics, strip it all down. Just take a few deep breaths in the morning, make that your morning routine for a while, see how you feel. Try not to add on too much stuff because even if you have the time, be simple. Otherwise you're going to overwhelm yourself. And then when you don't do it, you're going to feel like crap. Yeah. You're ready to apply. And I love how you keep it simple. Yeah, like I think a lot of people are very confused when it comes to conscious manifestation because there's so much contradicting information out there. And the way I really like to do it is to bring you back to your truth, right? Like when we work together, I'm always like, you are the expert. I'm not your guru. I'm not your, like, I can reflect things back to you. I can support you on your journey. I definitely have this method that is extremely powerful, but I am not the answer. I am not your savior. Like, you are the expert of your life. And I also want to say that, like, it can be simple. Like, it can be really simple. It's not, I know there's a lot of information out there, but it's not, and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It is going to be a process, right? This is why I don't know how many of you know this, but I do not offer one-off coaching sessions. And the reason is that that's not going to give you a transformation. That's going to give you a nice boost for a moment, and you're going to feel good for that day or that week or maybe even that month. And then you're probably going to fall back into old patterns because, it's not integrated. And that's because it's not easy. It takes time. It requires you to really dive deep, to really go deep into the process. But it is simple. It doesn't have to be this confusing. And I know a lot of people are confused. And that's also really my intention, to sort of strip all of that down and eliminate that confusion that a lot of people feel. Yeah, great. Awesome. I hope this helped you. Thank you so much. This is all really helpful. I love you and the way you work. I hope one day to get into your course because you are truly amazing and your approach is so unique. Oh, thank you so much. That means the world. That means the world. Are you on Instagram? If you're on Instagram, please drop me a little message so we can connect. Yeah, let me know. Or Facebook, because I love, being in messages with people as well. And yeah, if it ever feels aligned, yeah, amazing. Yeah, just message me. Tell me that you're coming from this live stream. Awesome. And of course, whenever you're ready to join Recreate Yourself, I will be happy to have you there. Great. So thank you all. I'm going to end it here because actually my cleaning lady is coming soon. But thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun. So this is going to be a series that, it's going to happen every week, but not next week. So already next week, it's not happening, which is just because I'm away for a training all week next week. But otherwise, it will be happening every week. I'm very excited. So yeah, please join me every Monday whenever you can. And I hope you have a beautiful start to your week. And I will see you in 2 weeks or like in Friday's video. So yay. You're so welcome. I'm looking forward to it too. Bye-bye.